Hello, and thank you for opening up the Monsignor McCoy Graduation 2021 Grad Parent Virtual Presentation. My name is Paul Bosch, Principal of Monsignor McCoy High School, and over the next little while, myself, as well as Mrs. Lang and Mrs. Melly, who are academic counselors at the school, will be discussing some important information for your son and daughter's grade 12 year. So one of the things that I want to talk to parents and students about during this presentation is about what it takes to really be successful and do the best that they can. Now, of course, this year is unique because there has been some lost learning that occurred last year in their grade 11 year in March, April, May, and June as schools closed for the COVID pandemic, which is ongoing. And so the work that has to happen this year is even more important for students to get caught up on parts of courses that they were unable to complete and to be able to achieve at the level that they frankly deserve this school year. So part of that requires, of course, regular, consistent attendance in class. So it's very important that students who are taking grade 12 courses are in class every day and that they are not late and are able to access the teacher support that they can. Now, further to that, and it's really important to also know that the teachers are available 4 of the 5 days each week at school for 25 minutes, either at the beginning of the lunch break or at the end of the lunch break, for students to be able to come and see them, get questions answered, perhaps get caught up on work, or be able to review information before their next class or perhaps an assessment that's upcoming. That extra time, which is over an hour and a half each week that they can spend with their teachers or with classmates, is really important for students to be able to be at their best this school year. Further to that, of course, this year, grade 12 students are taking a number of diploma exams and important final exams, which will be heavily weighted and are very important for their final marks, which they might use for post-secondary learning. So we want to make sure that our students are attending regularly and that they're able to access their teachers, like I said, during flex time on a regular basis so that they can perform at their best. The other part of attendance, of course, is that we do have an attendance policy at McCoy High School, and if students are not regular attenders and are demonstrating a lack of concern for their success in the classroom, then they might be removed from class as well. And we'll go through the process to sit down with them and discuss concerns that we're having around attendance and look for change and progress. And if that's not happening, then that might be the course of action. One thing that I always do is I invite parents, if they're having any concerns with their sons and daughters in terms of getting to school on time or attending regularly, or perhaps the information that they're receiving from their sons and daughters, they're not sure if it's accurate. Of course, they can always go to Power School to get the latest information, but they can certainly contact the school and ask for me or Mrs. Melly or Mrs. Lang, and we're glad to answer questions that they might have or concerns that they might be having with their progress for themselves or their sons and daughters this school year.
It's going to go from grade.
Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Melly, and I'm going to talk to you about the high school diploma requirements. So all of these bullets here are things that we want our students to achieve so that they can get their high school diploma. You have to have an English 30 level, so it could be 30-1 or 30-2. Social studies also at the 30 level, 30-1 or 30-2. You have to have a grade 11 math, could be 20-1, 20-2, or 20-3. A grade 11 science, so any 20 level science, bio, chem, physics, or science 20, or science 24. You also need to have your career and life management course, or CALM. Phys Ed 10 needs to be completed at least with 3 credits. You need 10 additional credits. Sometimes these are called option credits. They come from CTS courses, fine arts courses, second language, Phys Ed 20 or 30. And then 10 credits at the 30 level, but we cannot use the English and the social at the 30 level because those are already in their own category. So any other 30 level courses will need up to 10 credits. And finally, you must have a total of 100 credits by the time you are done with us in June to get your diploma. There are some other requirements if you want to participate in the graduation exercises in the spring. We look at you having 90 credits earned by the end of semester 1 to be on the first grad list, potential of 100 credits by the midterm report card in semester 2, and credits for any failing courses are removed from that total. English 20 and Social 20 must be completed and passed by the end of semester 1 to be enrolled in semester 2 English 30 and Social 30. Religion classes have to be successfully completed from semester 1 or passing at the report card time during semester 2. Students need to have one level of religion per year that they attended at McCoy. The additional credit courses need to be completed on schedule, so those are those 10 option credits and those 10 30-level credits. If you are in online or distance learning or cyber courses, they need to be completed according to the timeline scheduled by the teacher. Work experience documents must be up to date. If you're in work experience, you should be seeing Mrs. Erickson or Mr. Graff. And all of your school fees must be paid in full. Okay? All requirements must be met before you will be put on the final grad list and be able to purchase grad banquet tickets. Okay, each grad has received a package that went home. If you didn't get your package yet, then go see your counselor and they will provide you with one. But here's a summary of what's in your package. The cover sheet should look like this, and this is something that Mrs. Lang had put together. And what it is it's all those requirements that you need for your high school diploma, but it's specific to the student. So that in this sample, the student has completed their PE 10 requirement, completed their COM, and you can see all the items they've completed. When you look at their 30-level English, it says semester 1. So that's when this student is taking that requirement. If it says semester 2, that's where they're taking that requirement. There is a credit total there and a number of credits required that are left. And then there is a diploma status. The diploma status is based on what the students can see on MyPass. The majority of students, it will say forecasted to be completed, and that's based on you passing the courses that you're enrolled in or going to be taking in semester 2. If it says not forecasted to be completed, your counselor might have put a note there. Sometimes our cyber courses aren't counted yet because students aren't in there, or maybe you don't have enough courses on your timetable. So either way, if you see that it's not forecasted to be completed, please read the note there and check in with your counselor. Okay, so those were the high school graduation those are the diploma requirements to get your Alberta high school diploma. We do have the extra religion that is needed for you to participate in the graduation ceremonies. So that is also there. It will tell you whether you've completed it or taken it in semester 1 or 2 or both. And then the 3 dates there are the dates that we currently have scheduled for our graduation ceremonies in the spring. Okay, behind that summary sheet, we did include 2 other documents. The students should know what these look like. These come straight off of their MyPass account. Like I said, there's a summary on that first page, so if you can't quite read this or understand what's going on, there's a summary here, but you can also see your counselor. So there's up to 3 categories. The bottom category, everybody should have one. It's requirements completed. So these would be the requirements that were completed in grade 10 or 11, or they were in grade 12 before this document was printed, and they should have check marks beside them. Then the middle category will be requirements forecasted to be completed. So they don't have check marks yet, but it's based on the courses that you're registered in this year, provided that you pass these courses. These ones are the ones that are forecasted to get checked off. There is the top category for some of our students that says requirements yet to be completed. So if you have a category here, and that means that it's not forecasted to get done this year, but there could be different reasons for that. So maybe you have an upcoming cyber class or option classes or retro credits that aren't being counted into this total yet. So if you have questions about that, you can talk to your counselor. And the last last document in your package is your detailed academic report. This would be a list of all courses that students are taking this school year, and it also gives the grades and credits earned for all courses previously taken. So this is almost like a transcript. Both these documents students can get from their MyPass accounts, and if they don't have a MyPass account, they can talk to their counselor about that.
Hi, it's Mrs. Lang here. I just want to talk to you a little bit about MyPass. So MyPass is the Alberta government website that's always live for our kids. Our kids should have MyPass accounts, and if they don't, they need to come and see Mrs. Melly or myself to get themselves registered. The great thing about MyPass is it's something that they can access after they're done high school, so they can continue to see where they were at, what classes they have when they're looking into post-secondary studies. We do suggest they use personal email addresses. As of June 30th of their grade 12 year, they lose access to their school email address. A couple of other things that we need you to know about MyPass is students in diploma courses at McCoy will be registered by Mrs. Goodyear for their first diploma exam. However, if they're taking the diploma class either online or for a second time, they're going to need to register themselves for their diploma exam on November 2nd. Remind. So Remind is a great technology tool that Mrs. Melly and I use to stay in touch with each of our grad classes. I tell the grads all the time that we are going to continue to contact them even past their graduation date. We will use it to send out things like, hey, there's a scholarship due, or hey, check this out on this website, or don't forget about this deadline. Most of our kids have signed up for this. We tried really hard to get them signed up last year. If your son or daughter isn't signed up, please have them see Mrs. Melly or myself to get themselves signed up. New this year is something called the Counselor's Corner, or the Counselor's webpage. It's actually a link on the McCoy High School webpage. You can see on the slide how to get there. On there is a link to the kids' calendar for their grad class. It also has other things on there, links to different colleges and universities. It has instructions for signing up for MyPass and Remind. It also has post-secondary information. And the last slide on here that I'm going to talk about today is something called ELA, or the Educational Liaison Association of Alberta. It is a virtual post-secondary event that students have access to, and it's going to be held on October 22nd from 6 to 8. It is about 28 colleges or universities from across Alberta that will be there, and they will be open to questions from students about coming to their prospective campuses. Typically, this runs at the first grad meeting at the college, and it's usually an in-person event. This year, because of COVID, we are having it virtually. Please register early. There is a link on our webpage, on the counselor's webpage, for you to go to. Don't leave your registration until the day of. Please register before.
So it's Mr. Bosch again, just here to wrap things up. There was a lot of information presented in the last few minutes in this presentation, so please don't forget that you can always re-watch this presentation as many times as you would like to get the information that you are looking for. Also, please remember that if your sons or daughters or grade 12 students have not picked up that package of information that was referred to in this presentation, to please come see their particular counselor at the school. If you still have any questions, don't hesitate to contact the school and ask for whomever you're looking to speak to directly, whether it's counselors or school administration. And also be mindful that at the beginning of second semester, at the start of February of 2021, there will be another presentation that we will have as we get closer to graduation of 2021. We wish everyone the best this school year, and once again, thanks for watching.